Hello and welcome to this special edition of Africa Today. And in this edition of our program, we will talk about the 9th International Fatwa Conference. The two-day event is held under the title Fatwa and the Ethical Foundation in an Accelerating World. Now we will have this report on this special event.
The 9th International Fatwa Conference, organized by Egypt's Dar al-Ifta under the umbrella of the General Secretariat for Fatwa Authorities Worldwide, commenced in Cairo on Monday. In his opening remarks, Dr. Shawqi Allam, Egypt's Grand Mufti and President of the General Secretariat for Fatwa Authorities Worldwide, highlighted the ongoing regional and international crises. He emphasized Egypt's pioneering role in addressing these challenges and noted the rapid pace of change in today's world. Allam stressed the responsibility to safeguard human society from moral decline. He pointed out to ongoing attempts to dismantle the moral framework grounded in religion and societal objectives. The conference, themed Fatwa and the Ethical Foundation in an Accelerating World, aims to foster dialogue and collaboration among fatwa authorities and institutions. It seeks to explore how fatwas can support the ethical system, reinforce shared human values, and address urgent moral challenges amid global conflicts and crises. The gathering is attended by scholars, ministers, and muftis from more than 100 countries, a matter that reflects broad international participation.
And reports from Africa, dozens of Wagner mercenaries were killed by fighters and rebels over the weekend in northern Mali in what one analyst described on Monday as the largest battleground blow to the shadowy Russian group in years. At least two others were taken captive. Details follow.
Approximately 50 Wagner fighters in a convoy were killed in an affiliated fighters, which were joined by rebels who were in pursuit along the border with Algeria. The incident was reported by Wasim Nasr, a Sahel specialist and senior research fellow at the Soufan Center, a security think tank, who said he counted bodies in a video of the aftermath. He said the mercenaries had been fighting mostly Tuareg rebels alongside Mali's army when their convoy was forced to retreat into rebel territory. Wagner confirmed in a telegram statement on Monday that some of its elements as well as Malian troops were killed in a battle with hundreds of fighters. The mercenary group did not say how many of its fighters were killed. Mali's army said it lost 2 soldiers and 20 rebels were killed. In a statement over the weekend, Al-Qaeda asserted that 50 Wagner fighters were killed in its attack, meant to avenge the massacres committed in the center and north of Mali in the years-long battle against the extremists. The Tuareg rebels said an unspecified number of the mercenaries and Malian soldiers surrendered to them. Wagner has been active in the Sahel, the vast expanse south of the Sahara Desert, as the mercenaries profit from seized mineral riches in exchange for the security services. Wagner has been present in Mali since late 2021, following a military coup, replacing French troops and international peacekeepers in helping to fight rebels in the region.
And moving to Ethiopia, and Ethiopia has secured an agreement with the International Monetary Fund for a new financing program worth $3.4 billion. The IMF reported the deal on Monday. More in the following report.
Ethiopia's central bank floated the country's bare currency on Monday, a key step to secure IMF support and to make progress on a long-delayed debt restructuring. The Horn of Africa nation, which is struggling with high inflation and chronic foreign currency shortages, became the third economy on the continent in as many years to default on its debt at the end of last year. It has been in talks with the IMF since last year to establish a new lending program after the last fund-supported program agreed in 2019 was abandoned due to conflict in the northern region of Tigray that ended with a November 2022 peace deal. The IMF said the agreement will enable an immediate disbursement of about $1 billion. Africa's second most populous country requested a debt restructuring under the Group of 20's Common Framework in early 2021, but progress was slowed by the civil war in Tigray that lasted 2 years. The government in Addis Ababa has unveiled some economic reforms which analysts say are linked to the negotiations for a new IMF program, including the adoption of an interest rate-based monetary policy earlier this month.
Now we are joined over the phone by Dr. Magda, Amer, an Islamic scholar. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Dr. Magda.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm sorry. Good afternoon.
Dr. Magda, how do you weigh the importance of coordinating among Islamic nations over fatwa issues?
Yes. Well, it is an opportunity between all the nations to protect the rights and interests of the whole Islamic world. It is also an opportunity to exchange the important, vital question for the Islam and how to the future, how to solve correction of some misconception around Islamophobia, for instance, and terrorism, to defend all the rights of the Muslim, especially those who are minority living in special countries. Also, maybe to install the peace and the security, international security. Islam calls for the solidarity, for the fraternity. So it is, it assures really development on every level between the Muslims, and especially the fatwa that is midway. We search for the midway, no favoritism and no, extremism and so on.
Yes, Dr. Magda, how do you see the weight of the conference and the timing in which it is being held?
Please, can you repeat because I didn't hear everything?
Yes, Dr. Magda, I'm asking you about the timing of this conference. How do you see its timing? And its importance.
The timing of the conference?
Yes, the timing of the conference.
Well, it shows how the Muslims can collaborate together. It calls for the unity. It calls for the fiqh to be. We can generalize the point of view in the fiqh, and make it like midway. The fatwa is not the right one, so there is a checking on every fatwa, and especially everything is changing by time. So there are new issues that should need consultation between all let's say the scholars of Islam.
Yes, the two-day event is held under the title Fatwa and the Ethical Foundation in an Accelerating World. How would you list challenges to fatwas in recent years?
Well, some fatwa, science is changing, so I agree upon, we have to be updated with the science. Whatever is coming, like artificial insemination, etc., etc., all of this, it didn't exist at the time of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we need to have especially some scientists to be among the group of deciding and declaring the fatwa, so that at least they can understand the scientific point of view of this fatwa. It could be legitimate, and for example, yoga. Some of the recent fatwa was saying it's haram, it's illegitimate. Whereas those who are really skilled and they know the instructors of yoga, they will tell you there is nothing. If you are really specialized in the field, you say there is nothing against Islam in it. So it's a misunderstanding, and we need to be updated.
Yes, addressing the event, Dr. Magda, officials pointed out to ongoing attempts to dismantle the moral framework grounded in religion and societal objectives. How would you elaborate on the statement?
Well, as I said, we have to increase our knowledge to be broad-minded, not to be limited to what in the past they agreed upon. Things are changing. So, for instance, the problem of the environment, and the biodiversity and so on, we need to really collaborate together with the scientists to find a solution and have a fatwa that is for the welfare of the whole world.
And how do you weigh the importance of interfaith dialogue?
This is, of course, it's a dialogue. This is like it put an end for any conflict.
Yes.
This is now, yes, it's very important to collaborate together because some countries are in need of the others. So this exchange in dialogue will end up by through the consultation to find, inshallah, to get to the solution for every problem in development, in agricultural problems, in the security in general. We have really many major problems that being united together, inshallah, it will be the excellent solution of everything.
And also the Minister of Islamic Endowments, Dr. Osama Al-Azhari, said at the inaugural session that the Palestinian cause will remain the main cause in the Islamic world. How important is it to keep the cause at the forefront at all international conventions?
Well, we should start to resolve the conflict between the Palestinians by protecting and find a way to protect the Masjid al-Aqsa, to install the peace. But it is, of course, it's a political issue besides the Islamic point of view. So we need politicians as well as scholars, as well as maybe specialized people in international problems, and all of this will together, inshallah, assure the development. I mean, find a peace treaty, let's say, between us and the Jews and so on.
Yes, also he said that Islamic morals is the only means to solving global issues and promised the ministry's support to fatwa authorities and fulfill missions in Egypt and across the world. How can we go back to our Islamic morals?
Well, we should actually, it's a trend that people are not anymore adhering to Islamic morals. And the Prophet ﷺ said, I've been sent to propagate and install all the Islamic, the good conduct and Islamic morals. So at least we should teach at schools Islamic morals. We have to start early when the child is young, he is like a white page. It's easily to implement in him all the good morals of the Prophet ﷺ and show him how he is a role model in every situation and so on, how to deal with your parents, with your neighbors, even with the animal. I mean, with everybody around you, how to respect the nature, the environment. This is very, very important also. It's part of Islamic, why we're suffering actually from the climatic changes and the biodiversity pollution. The main reason is because we are not respecting the environment. And this is all, it's part of the Islamic morals. We have to understand Islam is answering all the questions that covers the necessity to live, mashallah, a proper life and healthy life. It's not only to pray and prostrate and to Allah and so. No, we have also duties towards the Prophet. He prohibited to urinate in the water, for instance, not to urinate under the trees, to respect the environment and not to cause harm to the trees. Where are these moral values?
And to what extent Islamic morals are the answer to contemporary issues?
Well, mashallah, we can find all the answers in the Islamic legislations. Yes. And mashallah, from A to Z, mashallah, if you are knowledgeable, we can find, mashallah, if we adhere to the moral values, we save the whole humanity from corruption. We save it from what we pay, actually, our health problems. Even health-wise, it covers many advices, subhanallah, not to eat full. I have a lot to say, so it's not the time, it's not appropriate to tell in details, but I mean every detail in how to sleep, how to eat, how to exercise, even to move. you have to be active in your life. It covers everything for the welfare of the humanity. So why was not knowledgeable about our problem? Mashallah, yeah, we know everything about many issues, but when it comes to Islam, we really need to propagate all these, mashallah, amazing prophetic teachings.
Yes, I'd like to thank you, Dr. Magda Amer, an Islamic scholar. Thank you, Dr. Magda, for being with us. And as we said earlier, the 9th World Conference of Fatwa Authorities wraps up its activities in Cairo on Tuesday. And in his address before the opening session, Minister of Islamic Endowments, Dr. Usama Al-Azhari, said the Palestinian cause will remain the main cause in the Islamic world. He said also that Egypt will keep supporting the Palestinian people until they return their legitimate rights, adding that the Islamic morals is the only means to solving global issues. He promised the ministry's support to fatwa authorities to fulfill their sublime missions in Egypt and across the world. And by that, dear viewers, we come to the end of our special edition of Africa Today. Thank you for watching.